Well, here we are, Primitive Substance, a very special guest, accomplished, acclaimed drummer, pianist, Gary Husband, a great career. Just keep going and going. So, Gary, thanks for coming on. We had some technical difficulties, but
Yes,
you're
we did.
finally here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Coffee and good company.
yep. So
Thank
before we start, I want to talk about Jack DeJohnette.
you.
Did you know him pretty well?
Um, I wouldn't say pretty well,
But you knew him?
but I had the thrill to make a recording of him back in 2014
Okay.
for an album of a guitarist called Bujana. Deva Bujana in Indonesia or wherever he lives. But he is great, and he put together a great album project which was released shortly after called Zentuary, and it was a solo. It was an album under his name,
All right.
uh, and then I found out as a side note that Jack was going to be playing drums. Uh,
Oh.
and the thing was about this whole setup was that I had my kit set up in there because I was doing a session uh almost immediately after these tracks
Oh. Okay.
Dave for somebody else, and and we played through well, a good five or so, six tracks, and then came a track which Dave had affectionately called Uncle Jack,
Yeah.
and I don't even know who wrote it in the end anyway, but and I was kind of like on mission to play piano on that as I had many of the other selections. And it so happened that Jack wanted to play piano, and he said, "You play drums
Yeah. Ah.
with you?" And he said, "Sure, sure, sure." And beautiful and warm and as
Mm.
benevolent as you can imagine.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, man, just let's play."
Yeah. Huh.
It was a beautiful experience. Most unexpected thing.
He was such a smooth player. I mean, it's such a
Oh man.
smooth technique. I mean,
Well, also revolutionary. In
yes.
I think any drummer would say that he plays like he played like nobody.
Yeah. So did you start on drums? Is that how you started music? Is that?
No, no. I started strict classical piano.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, and it was quite a thing. It's quite an ordeal.
Yeah, that
Uh,
is something.
yeah, when you had the kind of teacher I had, she was rather brutal, to say the least.
Mm,
Um, and I finally got rid of her by announcing to her that I was going to take up drums, at which point
mm.
she flipped out and called my dad saying, "I won't be seeing your son anymore." So my plan worked. And so, yeah, it all kind of, well, I will say worked upwards from there. I mean, the value of going through classical piano really steeps you in something that you can't really measure, and
Yeah. Oh no. Difficult.
it's just there. Well, it's a very difficult and
Yeah.
requires tons of practice. And and of course all the music as I was exposed to was like really influential on me.
Mm,
So that became really evident probably a lot later on. I was itching to get into more improvisational areas and indeed to carry on with drums and which I did. And then things just kind of continued in sort of duet form as it.
yeah. You're one of the few artists I know that been able to master the drums and the piano, and you're just acclaimed in both. And then the drumming. I mean, you have such a ferocity to really play on some of these records. I know I've watched some of your YouTube videos, and tenacity is like, man, you're really going to town.
Well,
And
trying.
who were you influenced by on drums? What?
Everybody. I mean, from Keith Moon to any amount of big band drummers because I was really into to big bands at that in my young age. Um, uh, and then
Buddy
subsequent,
Rich, did you listen to Buddy? Did you watch Buddy Rich?
yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean, he was just total. It was amazing what he did.
Yes, you're right.
But there were other drummers that perhaps in a different sense sort of had more of an effect on me than him.
Mm.
I don't know. I was into different guys, and after t discovering Tony Williams, which I've just been writing a forward to, a friend of
Oh,
mine has written
okay.
contempt on Tony Williams. So and he's
He was
from my,
incredible.
yeah, so that's all very exciting. But that was uh that was kind of an insight into the kind of people I was listening to, sort of different people.
Mm,
Lee Murray with Albert Ayala and all these free drummers. I used to see there was a fantastic South African drummer
mm,
who came over with a lot of South African musicians sort of in the 70s, I guess to escape the apartheid.
right.
And and they settled in Britain and they were doing amazing things. And this one guy, Louis Maholo, was another one of my heroes. Nobody's ever heard of him,
No, that's right. I haven't.
but he was fantastic. As were just about everybody I saw really play drums.
Mm.
This was super influential on me, or to me, I should say.
Now I'm going to go over. I mean, it's such a career. I mean, I want to just key on a couple people you played with that
Oh.
I'm really impressed by. First one was Allan Holdsworth. I mean, what? How did you get in that band? I mean, he was incredible.
He was, yeah, he was. I mean, he was looking. He was in need of somebody, and the way it was a really fortunate situation, chance situation that I found myself in. I was working my notice with another kind of jazz rock band, and we had a week at Ronnie Scott's,
Mm.
and Alan came in with Jack Bruce, who he
Of
was
all
starting,
people, right?
and he was starting a project with Jack Bruce and John Heisman at the time. Only Jack had other commitments, and that wasn't really going to work out.
Mm,
So um, he sort of heard my last set with this band before I
mm.
band and said, "You probably don't know me, but I'm Alan Holdsworth." Are you kidding?
Yeah,
So I was, and he said, "I was wondering if you fancied to play," and I was like, "Hmm, maybe,"
maybe, right? Yeah,
of course.
sure.
So set something up, and he did, and we played. We set up in the morning, and we didn't open our eyes till much later in the late afternoon,
Mm.
and we just found something with each other. Nobody, I couldn't have dreamt that we'd actually find that, but we
Mm.
did.
I mean, he
Very,
was he was so precise and scales and man, it just such a
yeah,
technician.
yeah, yeah. He kind of built his own technique,
Mm.
revolutionary, maybe I should say, redefining a new way on guitar for sure.
How many records did you do with Alan? I know I saw on here a bunch. How many records?
Maybe 8 or 9 or something.
Wow.
Mm.
And did you tour? Did you do any tours with
Yeah,
Alan?
34 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man,
I mean, off and on. The, the,
guy.
the thing was Alan with Alan was, it was up to really who was free
Mm.
and whereabouts in the world they lived and how much budget there was for things. So, but I'm really happy. I'm not happy he's not here.
Mm.
Uh, he I'm happy that he was able to sustain a career like that. Whereas in this day and age, somebody like him would be a very different story, I think.
And still a lot of people don't know him. I mean,
Oh,
musicians know him, but I
but
mean, the general public, I
yeah,
mean, it's
but
sad
no,
to
no.
say.
But it was a niche music. It was
Right.
it was a thing, and that's one of the reasons you can't really imagine that the same amount of success, no matter how moderate or modest
Yep.
the success was, it was definitely something like unbelievable when you consider that not he was not prepared to compromise his own vision in composition and
Mm.
play to any extent. So I mean, he was only going to do it his way on his own, and that's what he did. And you know,
Yes, he
he was on
did.
the cover of a lot of guitar magazines around the world, and we toured, and I had the pleasure of watching how popular he became. You know,
Mm.
he knew it, so he was able to at least enjoy that. You know, he was dogged by a lot of other kind of personality things, but he was able to sustain a great career.
I only got to see him once with UK back in 1978, and that was an incredible show.
Yeah.
And Allan just tore it apart. I mean, his lead playing was just whew, amazing.
Yeah, he was, you know, he was something.
Now talk about the tribute record you did for Allan. How that came about.
Um, well, it was sort of strange. I think it came off the back of somebody suggesting that I do an album of covers of
Mm.
his, and I didn't really want to do that. You know, if I'm going to cover anything as a general rule, um, I want to make a difference with it. I want to do something that in turns surprises the great artist from who wrote the thing, you know, the
Right.
author, and throw some of that kind of invention and uh, you know how would you call it? Just the effort in terms of imagination, really,
Mm.
uh, and try and surprise them.
That's great. Yeah, your interpretation, but your own way.
That was it. That was it. I said, well, you know, and I asked him outright, and I said, listen, do you mind if I tackle some of your music?
Mm.
No, no, you know, I mean, he knew as much about me then to know that or to suppose that I'd probably do something else with it, you know. So I said, well, I'm really going to smash it. I'm going to smash it and rebuild it. How would you
Mm.
feel about that? You know? And he said, okay.
Yeah.
And then immediately afterwards, I got a call from his lawyer who
Mm.
said, yes, we're speaking on behalf of Mr. Holdsworth here, and he tells me you're going to be doing something strange with his music. Can you define exactly what that is? And I said, well, no, not really. But I can define that he just said, yes, I can do it. And he said, well, you know, we look after his interests and we're not, you know, thrilled about the idea. And I said, well, too bad.
Too bad, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great that he was still alive when you did the record. I mean,
Yeah.
that was really nice.
And he heard it. Yeah. I mean, and he really liked it for those
Mm.
reasons. He knew that it really stood as something unique, I guess, you know, and it was not really even derivative in some of the cases of the tracks. I'm not sure if you've heard the record, but some of it's sort of more faithful to the original
Mm.
or more authentic to the original versions than other things, which have been given a complete other setting, quite classical sometimes, you know. So it was a nice adventure
That
built out of love and admiration, you know.
that's great. Yeah, I have to listen to it. I listened to some of it, but it's great interpretation. Now, what about Level 42? Talk a little bit about that band. You guys were really good there.
You know, I like to think I got better at it. I gave it my best shot. And you know, if somebody offers you a position like that, you say, "Wow, okay, that's kind of different." I never really imagined myself doing something like that at the
Mm.
time. Although I was into a lot of pop music and 80s pop music at that, all kinds of pop music. Um,
Mm.
and I said, "Yeah, sure." I mean, if
Gave it a shot, right? What else can you do, right?
somebody is willing to give you that opportunity
Right.
and through in some way see that actually this guy could work in this band, you know, and he'd only heard records with Alan, you know, and he said, no, no, he liked my snare drum tuning. He said, you
Mm.
got that crack, you know,
Yep.
that vibe with the snare drum, and that's what we're looking for, nothing else. And and Mark, bless him, my dear dear friend Mark King,
Mm.
he said to me once, I don't care what you do as long as you keep the two and the four.
Oh, okay.
Your invention will be great. That's a said thing, but as I don't care what you do as long as there's two and four there in it. And that was such an amazing thing to say, and to me, and a position to entrust me.
Oh, that's the
And
key too. Yeah, they trusted you to be able
yeah,
to do it, especially if he heard you play with Allan Holdsworth. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
there's your gold right there.
Oh, I know.
That was an opportunity once you had that.
Yeah,
Uh, so I want to jump to somebody else, Jack Bruce from Cream.
Bruce, yes,
Man, what a player he was.
yeah, he was
So
another.
how did that happen?
Uh, well, he was a big beast. What can you say about him? About as unique as they came.
Mm,
He played bass like nobody else. In fact, really, a lot of drummers I think found it hard to get used to trying to play with him. And my thing was always to go back to drummers in a certain situation. If I'm going to do something with an artist like that, I want to check out all the drummers he played with before, and the
that's
ones
a
that
good idea.
played longest with him.
Mm,
I don't know why, and the whole thing was that stirs up a lot of intrigue well, interest, duty. In fact, in my part, I think it's dutiful to look into somebody that deeply and extensively. So I would really listen to the what exactly was happening between him and Ginger Baker on those old
mm,
records, for instance. Um, and a lot of this stuff was kind of turned upside down,
right.
and beats starting on beat one on a snare drum and stuff like that, way before the police were doing it. And
Yeah, he had his own beat, and plus it played sound like a lead instrument, playing
yes,
that bass lead, and then his singing was
yeah,
phenomenal.
absolutely amazing singer, yeah. And really, they had this innate ability to sort of find the holes that the other one would leave, and
Mm,
and the whole thing was so distinct when it came out because they found these places to play around each other,
mm,
um, and in quite an uncanny way. And if you really listen to the records from that point of view, it's a great interest. It makes a great study to see
mm.
what they did. And I'm sure they didn't spend too much time conceptualizing about it too much. They just did it. And another guy who we felt really at home with was Tony Williams.
Oh yeah, Tony Williams. Mm,
And I saw the tie between him and Ginger
mm.
in terms of not necessarily style at all, but in terms of the way they played with Jack. That's all.
Oh, okay.
And to embellish what he did. And Jack really was a jazz musician insofar as that he really required some strong kind of interplay
Mm.
motion all the time, interplaying motion. So that was kind of right up my street, and I also wanted to think about different ways of interplaying motion, and how to put that into operation with somebody like that. I mean, again, I wanted to surprise him
Mm.
and delight him.
You did.
I wanted to find well, not always, but
Well, but to be on that level with Jack Bruce, you had to be good.
no, I was never on the level with Jack Bruce, but
Well,
I was
nobody was really, but yeah,
no, no.
he was a special guy.
That guy was a mountain of his own making, man. Unbelievable.
I
Miss him.
think the case of great musicians, they're able to play and also sing at the same time and create music both ways, and then that's what he was really amazing at. He'd be
Yeah.
playing these riffs and he'd be singing.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, it's complete independence, yeah, between the voice and the bass activity. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was if it was two people. Yeah.
So now I want to get to another great musician, John McLaughlin. known
Okay.
for Mahu Vishnu
Photo
Orchestra,
today.
Fourth Dimension. Boy,
Yes.
Gary, how did you land that gig?
Well, actually, it was you know, I'm a great believer in being proactive as part of what you do.
Mm,
I think you have to get. I think if you've got something that you really feel deeply about, something that you really cannot not do,
mm,
I think it's kind of a good idea to just get to the attention of people, of the people that you like and that you would like to play with. And I chased John for years.
mm.
What do they call it? Stalking. I did. I stalked him, and I
Huh.
turned to the most unlikely places. I had some sources, and I could find out where he was playing. It's long before the internet, and uh, and I, we kind of got to know each other that way.
Mm,
To the point, he'd see me go, "Hey, Gary, how's it going?" And I'd come at him with a pair of headphones and put them on his head while he was playing pinball or something.
mm,
I remember him playing on Merry-Go-Round, Allan Holdsworth, and we just recorded that. And they said, "John, would you take a listen to this?" And I didn't even bother to wait for an answer. Just put the headphones on him, and he listened. He's going,
mm,
"That's Allan. That's you. Wow."
mm,
So I mean, he was taking all that in.
mm,
Meanwhile, eventually, I'd done this tribute record to Allan, this piano record, and I said, and he got back to me, said, "Can I hear that? Do you have an album you can send to me?" And I did. And he said, "That's unbelievable to me that you're the drummer I know.
mm.
Now you're the piano player I know." And that's what triggered it.
Oh, okay.
Said because I'd actually, during my chasing after him and pursuing him, he said to me, well, sometime in the 80s when he had Katia Lebec on synthesizers and Tommy Campbell on drums,
Mm,
and who was doing a fantastic job. And I was still after a gig, and I wanted to play with him. And he said, "Well, I have a drummer right now, so
mm,
I have no need for a drummer, but I do have a second keyboard slot." And I said, "Nope, I want to play
mm.
drums." I can't believe
Yeah.
I, but I did, and it just it's testament to how single-minded you can be, and that's the way you want your career to pan.
You had
Something's
the
going to come up. You
you had
stick
the
to it.
drive to do it, to make it happen. You
Yeah.
played what, 16 years with John or 17? How many
It's,
years did you play with him?
well, actually, in the band, 16 years, but 17 years if you count the first record that I had something
Mm.
to do with, which was Industrial Zen,
I
which
love that record. That's the one I have.
great one, isn't it? Yeah.
Now, are you going to be doing any more shows with John? Is that
No, no, we
okay?
had well, we had the band,
Right.
and it was wonderful. And then one day it just couldn't continue for whatever reasons. John wants to really slow things down in the area of touring, and I wouldn't go as far as to say he's retired, but I think he's retired from touring.
Mm,
I don't think he can really make that anymore. So we have to dig that. He's 83 now, I think.
mm.
And
Yeah, it's
well, it's it gets up there, and things get harder. Travel wasn't what it was. It's much harder now. Of course, the
oh,
British and Brexit. I don't say my Brexit. I say
yeah.
their Brexit because they did it, and I'm not a part of that at all. Of course, it's made things a lot harder for people like me in my field and other fields too.
Oh, I'm sure.
So to this kind of freedom of movement thing, it's a
Yeah,
real pain.
the modern music now, I mean, it's just everything's created on a laptop, if you want.
No,
It's but live music is still people still want to go out and hear music.
I do,
So
and
that is a good thing.
that's the one thing we have.
Yes,
That and maybe merchandise. I mean,
right, that too.
selling records is a bit of a sad joke now. But you can move them, but we're talking much smaller quantities of everything, of course. Um, Particularly in sort of more niche fields. But to actually get out there and play, with no reinforcement, no backup,
Mm,
no backing tapes or
yeah.
no sequences or no AI. You know,
Right, right. Yeah,
yes, it's just like the naked human spirit up there, doing it. And
that's it.
I don't, hopefully in my lifetime there'll be no replacement for that.
Well, I want to talk about Steve Hackett a little bit because I just saw him in concert with his band and it was just incredible show. I mean, he still has it. Ugh. So how did that record come about with Steve?
Um, I didn't actually do one of his records, but I did. He played on he played on the track of two of my
Oh,
records.
okay.
It was a piano one where I was reinterpreting somebody else's music. He played on one track of that, acoustic, all Spanish guitar and steel string. He really got into it. It was marvelous on that. And then he played a track on one of my albums called Dirty and Beautiful, Volume One.
Hmm. That
Very
was,
nice. Plays
yeah,
very soulfully a ballad in only a way he could do it.
yeah, he's a great artist. Well, let's talk about your solo music. I mean, the first one, Diary of a Plastic
Oh,
Box, that's a very interesting title.
that's a very interesting record.
Yeah.
Somewhat, some politely call idiosyncratic.
Okay.
It was done for basically the reasons it was done almost entirely on a Korg M1 workstation synth that came out, what,
I remember that synth. I had one.
1988, something
Yep.
nine. And yeah, there you go. So we all remember that.
Yep.
Uh, and for my sort of creative sanity, I used to go back to my hotel room and just sort of create things. And I released a whole album of some of the best of what I felt that I was managed to achieve. And it was all done on that machine.
Oh, okay. Wow.
With the backup, it was so limited in terms of storage and memory. And one of the things that used, I don't know if you remember, if you tried to play anything and used a lot of pitch bend,
Right.
tons of memory. You'd get through half a song and you'd be recording in sequencer mode and you wouldn't have it. So what I do is uh, do a backing track of some kind of whatever type or character, and then I'd get a DAT recorder, DAT
Okay.
recorder, and record the track, bounce the track, and as I was bouncing it, I'd play solo voice on it, so it wouldn't. I was able to sort of take advantage of the meager memory that was afforded to me on the keyboard, and just do all my solos live. So it was, yeah, it was the beginnings of
But
working.
you put out so many great records.
Thank,
I love a meeting of spirits. I mean, the way you interpret that's beautiful.
thank you, man. Well, that's kind of like the brother of the record for Alan, if you know the records. So they're like brother and twin brothers, really.
If somebody wanted to learn your music, what solo record would you recommend for people to start with?
Maybe either of those two, the interpretation
Okay.
records, yeah. The Alan one's called The Things I See, and the John one is called A Meeting of Spirits. And I
I'll have to
call it
look
that
into that.
pun on the title, Meeting of the Spirits, and but also a meeting of spirits being me on his music. So yeah. But
And
thanks
that's
for
really, I'm gonna
your
have to check that out because you play such beautiful piano.
thank you.
Guyan, is his name Guyan Lee? Is that how you pronounce it?
Nuan
Lee,
Nuan Le.
a
Le.
tremendous player.
Yes.
And you guys really are great together. How'd you find him?
Well, he's been around for a long time. So, I'm always listening to and guitar is of course quite central to what I love to play with anyway. I
Mm,
love drums and guitar. So only the duet was more about piano and guitar and then drums and guitar. So it was kind of
mm.
like split duties for me and him on his effects and great sensibilities as a player and an improviser. Very nice.
Beautiful. Is there going to be more shows with him, possibly?
I don't know. We never
Okay.
know what it's, it's a lot's down to what we can kind of find to
Mm.
keep certain projects on the go. And sometimes it just feels like you push and push and push and certain things don't want to happen, but other things do. So I've got a new band on
Oh, we
the,
do. Let's talk about that.
can we? Okay. Well, it's called Gary Husband and the Orbital Band.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to get like a an outer space kind of name for it, and that seemed to kind of sum up the way I was hearing the band. And I've got a great guitar player who plays with Billy Cobham. His name is Rocco Ziffarelli,
Okay.
Italian.
That is very Italian.
Quite an Italian sounding name, isn't it? And there he is. He's a great player and a really good friend. So the artistic and the personal is really great with him.
Mm.
And I've got a really great keyboard player by the name of Tom Corley, who's been working with Peter Gabriel most recently,
Oh, wow.
but more a little more mysteriously, sort of off the map kind of thing. He's been doing his own groups. He had a group called Curious for a while, a piano trio, and he's doing some different things. He's a really great player, and keyboards is sort of close to me anyway. So um, that's going to be great with him. And on bass we have Felix Pastorius, of course,
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Great player.
yeah,
Are you
uh,
going to be playing drums in that?
yeah, very definitely. I mean, because it used to work out. I was doing 50-50 keyboard work, 50% drum work. And now it seems to be kind of like 95% keyboard work to the point that some people don't even know I play drums anymore. So something needs addressing here.
Oh, yeah,
And
you need to do that. I mean, because
so,
you're a
yeah,
great drummer.
thank you. But yeah, so I've started a band and we're this time next year, hopefully we're going to be touring.
Are you going to be playing in the States at all, or and
Well, I'd love to
be able
think
to
so.
get over here?
I have to think so, Dennis. I mean,
Yeah, it's hard.
it's getting harder by the minute, really, just in terms of how the movement can work and
Mm,
in terms of budget too. And of course, a lot of the gigs, we're losing so many gigs.
mm.
So many of the show houses and venues are gone, you know.
Yeah, there's not much places to
We-
play and make
I
money
know.
there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So we've just got to find out how to best really navigate through what's open to us still in this day and age, and get it going. But we'll find a way.
So I've been listening to postcards from the past. I know it's not out yet, but Leonardo sent me a copy to listen to, and there's some
Thanks.
beautiful pieces on there. How did this come about to put this together?
Really, just because I just wanted to put, because I've got quite a backlog of things that really never made the grain or never got released, or indeed people have never heard before,
Right.
including like an Allan track, the first demo I ever did with him, well before IOU record.
Mm,
Uh, that's on there for the first time with some people that might be unfamiliar, some names people might not know. Ray Worley, who was Alan's favorite alto sax player, he's on the track. Hansford Rowe, who I worked with Gongzilla
okay.
band, Gongzilla, he's on bass there. So this was within weeks of me meeting Alan, and I
Oh,
was
okay.
18. 18.
You're lucky you had the backlog of these songs to
Well,
put out.
a
Or
lot
did
of
you
it.
have those?
I mean, a lot of it didn't make it anymore. I mean, there are lots of things I hold in the memory banks which just aren't
Mm,
available in any format. And fortunately, that one came to the attention of Alan's great friend Robert Feist.
mm.
Obviously, while Alan was still with us, and he gave him to Robert, and he told Robert, give this and this and this to Gary. He'll know what to do with them.
Okay.
So it was kind of like okay, thanks, man. And I did, and I thought, well, that deserves to be heard because it's a wonderful document of only that time, and
Mm.
I remember exactly him sounding that way. In fact, I hadn't heard the demo since like 1979,
Wow.
And
That's a
and
while back.
Robert had it, and he's a great engineer, Robert Feist. He had a lot to do with a lot of Alan's sort of albums from a particular time, 90s, more or less. And and he had it, and he had a multi-track of it. So he did a great mix of it. And I said, I'm going to put it on my record. And he
You
said,
might as well, right?
go ahead,
Yeah, you're keeping the spirit of Allan Holdsworth alive
Well,
here.
I'm putting something, that's there, and
Hmm.
I think a lot of people would find it very enjoyable to listen to that.
So it's
So
on Moon June Records. I really like that label. They've got so many interesting artists.
well, it's Leonardo's vision, Pavkovic. Yeah, he's a great man, and he's been moving heaven and earth for a lot of musicians for decades now.
Yeah,
He's
I was able to speak with him a couple months ago on the
yeah.
channel, and he's really, his heart and passion is really into it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
loves putting out this kind of music.
Yeah, he's it's strictly passion
It's a
for him.
labor of love for him.
Labor of love,
You know,
exactly.
it's just beautiful, all the releases he has. So
Yeah.
what are you going to be working on next coming up? You have some new recording projects that you could tell everybody about coming up?
Well, majorly just the band, the
Okay.
old band that I have. We're gonna have to make a. Sounds like a we're gonna have to do it. We are gonna have to make a record.
Okay.
As sometimes it's tempting to believe, actually, is it even worth making a record these days? But it is. It
Yeah.
is. Because the no, we don't have the circulation. No, we don't have the budget, the power that we had, and musicians can't get back what they once got back from, in terms of reward for it. But there are ways, we still have things like Bandcamp who are really superb at what they do. They're
Yes, they
really
are.
on the money. They're really fair, and it's a really sort of straight ahead arrangement with them, and there's no bullshit going on with them. So that's great, and you can receive rewards from doing that. So I think we just have to look out for the avenues that are open to us, and Bandcamp is definitely one. Leonardo, as long as please may he be around forever. He will be recording things until he can't record
Oh
anything.
yeah, I'm sure. Well, jazz is still alive, and I was speaking to somebody down in New Zealand, and he said these young kids are listening to a lot of jazz down there.
Good,
So it's still a vibrant music out there for that.
good. I mean,
And
that's great.
and now, what about your drum set? What do you play now? What brand?
Her brand, Pearl drums. It's been that way for the majority of my life, really.
Okay.
Although I played other makes. Back in the Allen days, it was Gretsch, who is still very, very good. But with Pearl, it's really great because I've been able to get a number of different kits that suit a number of different
Yeah, you have to play the kit that suits the band, I'm sure.
So I've got a big rock kit with two bass drums. You'd like that,
Oh
and
yeah.
and uh, various little sort of variations on that. All the way down to small kits.
You always had a lot of unique cymbals that you played.
Uh,
I noticed that. A lot of
yeah,
different China type, little small splashes. So that you really added to the sound because you're a pianist, so I can see how you added, that kind of flavor to the drum set.
yeah, it was a cymbal guy. Yeah, as
So
Alan used to say.
what was it like playing with Billy Cobham? That's another gentleman always loved.
Well, it's incredible, and actually, it's been a very large part of my life, musical life since around 93, off and
Mm,
on in different bands, different formations. I mean, he's had this Spectrum. Every time there's an anniversary for Spectrum, he forms a Spectrum band. And
okay.
I was
Oh,
in the Spectrum 30 band, which was the 30-year anniversary of Spectrum, the album.
mm,
And it had Lee Sklar in the band, the original
Oh,
bassist.
wow. Okay.
Dean Brown, the first time I worked with Dean Brown, he was in the band and I was playing keyboards. And and then I was in the Spectrum 40 band again with Dean Brown and Rick Farabracci on bass.
Hmm.
And then just recently I've been in the Spectrum 50 band. Whew, I'm really clocking.
Wow. That,
And Rocco Zeffirelli, the guy I'm working with, this was on that, and indeed also his current band, Time Machine, which I'm also in.
yeah,
So yeah,
Bill
quite
is
a few.
great.
Yeah, he's good. He's unstoppable as well. It's so inspiring to see.
I'm
Like,
hoping to get an interview with Billy. We'll see what happens. I interviewed Will Lee. I don't know if you know Will Lee.
of course.
Oh, he was incredible. He was
Yeah.
on Letterman's show. He had some great stories.
Oh God. Yeah. Absolutely.
He's
Story.
played with everybody, that guy. You too. You've had a great career with a lot of incredible people.
I've been very fortunate, Dennis. Yeah.
Well, that's about it. I don't know where we could go here, Gary. I think thank you for we finally hooked up here. I'm sorry about all the difficulties, but it's been a
No, no.
pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, you too. You too, Dennis. And I really appreciate you bringing the album to people's attention and
Of course.
bringing me
And
back.
people need to know about you, Gary, because you've just
Thank you.
got some incredible music and you still keep doing music. So that's what's really great.
Well, just so you know, Dennis, I can't stop.
No, why should you?
Can't
Why
stop, man.
should you?
No, no.
No, you've got the talent. You still able to think and do things. So keep doing it. I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't. These people retire, but I don't know. You still have the capacity to make great music.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right. Well, anyway, that's
Really
it from here. And thank you again for doing this. I'll have this up pretty soon. And
wonderful.
have a
Please give
great
me a
day out
link.
there in London,
Will do, sir. And where are you again?
New Jersey.
You're in New Jersey.
Jersey, where I'm about an hour from
Right.
New York, if
Yeah,
there's
I
no
know.
traffic.
No, I've got lots of great memories of being in
I
your
don't
part of.
go in the city much anymore. It's just so chaotic,
Uh-huh.
with bikes and cars and
So,
it's
man,
pretty
yeah.
crowded.
Like every city, yeah.
And now you
I,
got to pay to drive around, like $9 to drive around
oh yeah, yeah.
the city, just to
Got
drive
charge.
around.
Yeah, we have a congestion charge too. Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
Sucks.
That's
Got
it.
to see through it. Find
Uh,
another way.
what
Always
else
find
can we
a way.
do? All
That's it.
right, Gary. That's an
All
honor.
power,
Thank you
man.
again.
Me
Take
too.
care.